What's up YouTube? It's Bro Seki with my first YouTube video and uploaded Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. And for this first video, I'll be doing it with my cousin Shaq. So we've basically been playing Pokemon for forever and 2 days, and he just actually got into competitive like about a month ago, and he's gotten pretty good. So today he's gonna come in with a pretty scary team. He has the offensive threats Garchomp and Haxorus, and he has one of the most used OU Pokemon, which is Scizor, and he also has that Mega Blastoise. Mega Blastoise is a threat, y'all. Alright, so let's start the match. Alright, and first off, he's going to lead off with his Melodic, and I'm going to be leading off with my Trevenant, predicting that he might go into his Mega Blastoise or his Melodic. So I thought I was going to outspeed here, so I go for the sub, but since he outspeeds, he gets the Toxic off on me, and I get 25% off due to the sub, and I'm poisoned. So my Trevenant is really crippled right now, and he's gonna take out my sub with an Ice Beam, but I'm gonna be able to get off a Leech Seed off on his Melodic. Not wanting to take any more toxic damage on my Trevenant, I'm going to have to switch here. And predicting the Ice Beam, I'm gonna go into my Barioth, my Mega Lucario after this. So after you get some poison damage, I'm going to switch out. And Melodic being a specially defensive tank, there's not much that it can do to my Lucario. And after this Ice Beam, the Leech Seed is going to restore most of my health. So no matter what this Melodic does, it's not gonna one-shot my Lucario, even though Lucario is pretty much a glass cannon. So I'm pretty much free to set up here as he goes out into his Trevenant. Now I don't run Crunch on this Lucario. I do have extreme speed, so I'm not going to be doing anything to this Trevenant. Bullet Punch and Close Combat, obviously I'm not going to harm this Trevenant in any way, and I'm fearing the Will-O-Wisp. A Will-O-Wisp on my Mega Lucario would mean that it would be trash. So I go up into my Talonflame, trying to take the Will-O-Wisp, and he actually misses, which didn't really matter. So Trevenant can't really do anything to my Talonflame, so I go up for a Swords Dance as he goes out into his Scizor. So right here, after the match, my cousin said that this was a misclick. He meant to go out into his Melodic to take the Brave Bird or Flare Blitz, but actually I had Acrobatics on this thing. So after a Sword Stance, the Flare Blitz is still gonna do a pretty good chunk to the Melodic. So after this, I'm gonna be able to take it out for sure with a Stabbed Acrobatics. I actually don't run any items on my Talonflame. I wish we could get Flying Gem in this generation, but sadly we can't. I should be running Leftovers and Brave Bird, but as of right now I only have one Leftovers, and that's gonna be on my Klefki. And he goes out into his Mega Blastoise. I can't do anything, so I have to go for the U-turn damage. This damage was actually very important, as we'll see later on. So to take the Water Pulse, I go into my Trevenant. Nothing on my team can really take what this Mega Blastoise has to offer except for my Trevenant. And even then, this Blastoise has Dark Pulse. After the Harvest, I'm not even able to survive the Dark Pulse, even though I believe he does crit me right here. So I get the Harvest off, and he goes for the Dark Pulse. So after that, he does get a crit. Yes, he does. But after the Calyx, it's shown that it does not matter. He would have taken out my Trevenant anyway at max HP and max special defense investment. So I got into my Klefki. He doesn't want the Swagger or the T-Wave, so he goes out into his Trevenant to take it. He could have gone into his Garchomp to predict the T-Wave, but if he went out, if I went for Swagger instead, that would have been really bad news if he did hit himself. Garchomp at +2 hitting himself is not a funny story. So I go for the sub here and go for the Swagger. So right here, I thought that since he had Will-O-Wisp, he didn't have the curse, but he does have the curse anyway, and that is going to hurt my Klefki a lot. If he didn't have this curse, I would have been able to stay in more turns and annoy more of his pokes to death. So, but even then, he is still at +2, and he is still weak to my foul play. So after this, I am going to go for a foul play, and I am going to take it out. Alright, and after this, he is going to play it pretty risky here. He does think that whatever he goes into next, I'm just gonna Swagger. So he goes out into his Scizor. He's obviously not fearing the T-Bolt, because no matter how slow Scizor is, he can still Bullet Punch. And I go for the Swagger here, and then he goes for a Swords Dance. So he is at +4 right now. That is pretty scary, but keep in mind that I am behind the sub, and I do have the foul play. So the fact that he's at +4 and the Scizor just means that my foul play is definitely gonna one-shot his Scizor, as you can see right here. But I am taking a bunch of curse damage, and when I do hit his Scizor, it's going to hurt me as well, because he does carry the Rocky Helmet. And unfortunately for me, he does break through Confusion and break through my subs, so I'm at 13 health right now, and I'm going to be taken out by the curse, even after leftovers. So basically, we have just a couple pokes left, and we both have to basically make a random prediction on which one the other one is going to use. So I got into my T-Tar, knowing that I probably could take out anything with this thing. It's a mixed set, and it has Focus Sash. So I get the Sandstorm off, and he goes out into his Garchomp, and he gets the EQ. He's pretty confident here that he'd take out my T-Tar, but no sir, I have the Sash. I go for the Ice Beam, but sadly I miss. This is when I flipped my table. He is Sandvale Garchomp. Basically, my Sandstorm is helping him wreck my team right now. Well, and I thought he was Scarfed here, so I got into my Talonflame, trying to set up as he's just EQing, but he goes for the Dragon Rush, and this is definitely gonna take out my Talonflame, even without the crit. And I was pretty scared here. So I have my Big Hat Logan, my Alakazam, and I have the HP Ice on this thing, but I miss as well. Even at 25%, Sandvale is like a monster. A monster ability. No wonder why this thing is in Ubers. So even though I am sashed, I miss my HP Ice twice. So after this, the sand is going to go away, and I'm going to go for the close combat on my Lucario. Luckily for me, I get the crit. This crit definitely mattered. The Garchomp would not have died to a close combat from a Mega Lucario. And here his Haxorus is not Scarfed as well, so he can't go for the EQ. He is Life Orb. So he's going down, and the last one, his last poke is gonna be his weakened Mega Blastoise. So typically, At full health, close combat would not kill the Mega Blastoise, but I did get that U-turn damage off, and it did help me win the game. So that was that. Peace, guys.